I wanted to welcome you back to my channel. It's your girl Lee of IKNOWLEE. And before we press forward and do anything, make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button below because I upload videos weekly. And now we are going to get into the classic braid out. I'm going to show you guys how I achieve a braid out on kind of like type 4 really dense thick hair. It's achievable and you can do it. And if you like the way my hair looks now with all of its fluffy and luxuriousness, then you know, let's get the look. I think that you guys know by now that I normally start off with freshly cleansed hair, so I'm going to use this Curls Unleashed leave-in conditioner, and I'm literally just slathering this all over my head. There's no rhyme or rhythm to it. Just make sure that the product is worked in, and then using my fingers, we're actually going to separate the hair to begin the braiding process, or you can use a comb. I am detangling it with the Felicia Leatherwood brush, and I am going to apply this luxurious curl defining cream to each section, break it into 3 equal parts, and then begin the braid. And you basically just braid all the way down, but when I get to the ends of my hair on a braid out, I will comb back through them, kind of like smooth them out, and then using a smaller perm rod, I'll roll them. And I do this so that the ends have that perfect curl, because when your hair is stretched, it can kind of seem a little wonky at the ends if you don't actually roll it. So this is my preference, just for me. So go ahead and kind of detangle the ends and then roll the perm rod up your hair maybe about 2 or 3 times. So I'm just finishing the rest of my hair. Also, another quick tip, you might want to braid or style your hair in the direction that you want it to fall. So if you see, I created that part and I'm kind of shaping my hair around my face so that when I take it down, it falls like that. So just complete the last braid and let this dry overnight. Well, hello, we are back. It's the next morning. I did let my hair dry overnight, but if you don't want to do that, you could definitely sit under the dryer for maybe about 2 to 3 hours and your hair should be dry. It really just depends on the density. Because my hair is super thick, braids usually take a little bit longer to dry than like twist outs or roller sets. So now that it is dry, we're going to go ahead and take this down. The very first thing that I'm going to do is just remove all of the rollers. And so with the rollers, you just want to remove them in the opposite direction that they were installed, just to ensure that it doesn't kind of snag or break your hair. Sometimes I do tend to like snatch these rollers out if I'm in a rush, but definitely, if at all possible, treat your hair nicely. For my braid out, I only used 2 products, mainly because I wanted to keep it light and fluffy. So the first product that I used was the ORS Curls Unleashed Cocoa and Shea Butter Leave-In Conditioning Cream. And then I paired it with the ORS Curls Unleashed Shea Butter and Honey Curl Defining Cream. This stuff is amazing. I love the texture of it. Anytime that I see a butter that looks like this, I know it's going to pretty much work on my hair. And on top of that, I adore the size of this jar because this will actually take some time to work through versus like, you know, a 4 or 6 ounce jar that I know that I'm only going to get a few uses out of. Not this one. So when taking out braid outs, I just keep it simple. What I basically do is grab the 3 pieces and then just pull them, slightly unravel, and then pull them again. That way I don't lose the definition of the braid. And look at that definition. Let's take the rest of them down. So if you're too rough, what you're going to do is lose the definition that you do have. But what I most like about braid outs is that you already have elongated hair on the first day, and honestly they make the cutest afros, especially if you experience quite a bit of shrinkage. When you're actually braiding, if you borrow hair from like the 3 pieces, then this method that I'm using to take down the braids, it won't work. If you're like me, there's always that one piece that you miss. Like no matter what you do, it's like I'm always left with like one twist or one patch or something that I just completely miss. So I'm just feeling my hair to make sure I got every single braid before we start to fluff. I think we're good. When it comes to fluffing, you already know that I love my hair big and wild. and I kind of embrace the frizz. But if that's not you, don't do all of this. I'm just gonna go in and kind of break each piece up into like 3 or 4 pieces, and then we're gonna pick. I think that most of the really chunky pieces have been separated, so if you don't like frizz, I would stop here. I wouldn't do any more because it's going to continue to get bigger because it's already stretched. So I would literally just kind of like shape it something like this, see, and be done. Like just be like big fluffy hair, braid out, I'm rocking it, sis. I want to go bigger. Maybe not that much bigger, but definitely bigger. So I'm pulling out my handy dandy pick, and I'm going to start in the back and really kind of fluff that up. I always pick in multiple directions, and definitely don't pull all the way through. See how much of a difference that added to this side? Just by picking it. Shape and mold it to fit your face, but also I am going to kind of zhuzh it up with some edge control. I'm going to be using the ORS Curls Unleashed Apricot Oil Edge Gel. It's blue. I've dipped into it a few times because I've been using it. It's on these edges, sis. This edge control is pretty moisturizing also. So first I'm going to actually brush it in just so that I get like a smooth finish, and then I'm going to use my edge brush to kind of define the curls a little bit more. This is it, guys, my absolute final look of the braid out, and I think that it is absolutely gorgeous. It's the easiest way to get big kind of first day full hair that's still really fluffy. If you're interested in the products that I use, please make sure that you check out the description bar. I will leave them listed below along with the links. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Before you leave right now, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you see every single video that I upload, which is weekly, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.